All right, 4:15, let's go ahead and get the Drainage Committee meeting started. Let the record reflect that all members are present. Item number one, update on Lower Texas Monterey, Sharon Road, and Himalaya Canals. Mr. Savoy is not here. Do you have an update, Mr. Bro?
Yes, well, we have the permit in from the Corps on Lower Texas, and I would like to tonight start advertising for the project. It's been approved and all of that.
We need a scope of work. We got the scope of work available?
Yeah, those are valuable.
All right, let's just, table that. We'll see if Mr. Savoy put those update on.
I don't think.
He ain't coming, he had back surgery. Okay. Aaron, anything on that?
She's not coming. The only person I spoke to today was, Brian. And it was about 5 hours. He ain't had no other update.
All right, without a scope of work, we can't go out to bid.
But, yeah. You know, some of the problems with the day with that rain.
Right, that's further down on the list. All right, let's table item number one. Item number two. Update on drainage projects associated with the flooding in the Libertyville community.
Yeah, flip to the second page in the packet. I'll go ahead and read it. For Ward 2 projects, 93239, South.
Members of the logic.
That might
That might work, might not work.
No, that might, everything is up. Everything's up.
That 93239, the South Loop Canal, the snagging excavation project. That project has been completed. No other issues have been reported since the completion of that project. Another one for Ward 2 with 93237. It was inverts and assessments of the South Loop Canal. That project has been completed. I met with a representative from GIS Engineering and I obtained a map showing the inverts for the canal and the inverts for the culverts in the system. I'll be preparing a cost estimate to excavate the Locust Road Canal from the Redwood Street Dam to by Lafouche, and then the removal of the dam. According to the inverts, approximately 3 foot of material can be removed from the canal for approximately 3,700 feet. Project 93228, the excavation of outfall at 734 Bruley Road. That project has been completed. Project 93198, excavation snagging of the Sophie Street outfall. The project is ongoing. Right now, 7 trees are left to remove from the canal. The excavation has started, estimating 12 full days of work remaining there. For project 93240, which is the excavation and snagging of the Libertyville Drainage Canal, the project is ongoing. We were able to obtain a right-of-way from the landowner that allowed the snagging of the trees only. That portion of the project has begun and is progressing excellently. Estimating the snagging portion of this project will be complete by Friday, the 28th. At this time, we're still unable to secure right-of-way from the landowner for the excavation portion of the project. For project 93236, the surveying and assessment of the drainage near Highway 398, the project is ongoing and in its final stages. A representative from GIS Engineering stated that we should be receiving results and recommendations for mitigation soon.
Oh, no.
Okay, so go back to project 93240. What is the issue? The landowner don't want to sign the right of way?
And say it like it is, because we have many residents here. Don't bullshit it. Say it.
No, yeah, and so we were only able to get one to snag the trees out of the Libertyville Drainage Canal. He was not willing to sign one freely for the excavation portion of it. He had a lot of stipulations in there for time constraints, liquidated damages, things of that nature. So I forwarded that info to Mr. Calabro, and we're gonna try to just pursue some sort of CEA with him. And that portion of it is ongoing now.
All right, so are we making any headway there as far as the agreements?
The last I spoke to this gentleman, no. But this is still working on it.
Mike, question for you.
Yeah.
Legally, do we have anything that we could do to assist or kind of get some kind of override from this landowner to allow drainage to?
I think we're gonna make progress with the
Okay.
landowner, let Aaron and I continue to work on it, communicate with him, and I think we've worked with this individual in the past, I don't see any reason why we can't continue to work with them in the future.
All right, good. All right, thank you.
There's progress being made, you know, slowly but surely, but it's happening.
All right,
Do we know from GIS review if clearing this canal is gonna address the issue?
What can I,
The Lavderville Drainage Canal?
take snagging the tree now, it's gonna make a big difference.
No, I'm asking if GIS believes that once we dredge the canal, if that's gonna solve the problem that we have there.
Well, it's all a portion of it. Not 100% of it. But yeah, we still need some diversion. Gotta have some diversion. But yes, that will help. It will help between Burley Road and Sophie Street. Get that water out a lot quicker. They did a hell of a job on, between Burley Road and Sophie. Clean, very clean, not snagging trees in the Louderville Brewery. Yes, the water will flow at a higher rate of speed than it's doing it now. But the biggest problem is water coming on the Pointville side, inundating that drainage canal. So biggest obstacle there, and we're gonna make it happen, is to divert some of that water going straight to the swamp on the 10-10. And that's gonna,
Can we say
that's gonna
why on the
alleviate a
records?
lot.
Can we say why on the records? Why we getting so much water from the Pointville side? Of Brewley Road,
You can say it in public comments.
huh?
You can say it in public comment.
6 p.m.
all right, any more? All right. Item number 3, request the approval to clean out the Supreme Canal and to assist with drainage on Conshan Road, Ward 4, Mr. Pro.
This is a portion of, the Supreme Canal that Mr. Burrow approached me about. We would have to get it right away in order to do the project. That property is now for sale. I was able to find it on Zillow and contact a real estate agent. He was able to give me the email address to the owner. He would not give me a phone number. He barely gave me the guy's email address. So I sent him 2 emails over the last 2 days, just requesting some contact back and forth to get a right away so we can do some work there. Haven't got anything back from him yet. If I'm not mistaken, he's all the way from South Carolina.
So you're working on it?
Yep.
All right, good. Item number 4, request the approval to repair the breach in the levee on Georgette Pumping Station.
Mr. Charlie, I'm not, this is something that's under contract now to do that levy on the other side of Georgette. Okay. If you'd be willing to either use some other drainage money or remove that portion from something that Joseph's doing, I could do a cost estimate for it in-house.
Yeah, we have to do something serious. You know, because we had a little rain the other day, it was just a drizzle all day. We had problem. And the levee's too low. We repumping the same water.
I'll do a cost estimate for it. And see what I come up with, and then, hopefully Mr. Sawa is back in office next week, and then when I meet with you in the next couple of days, we'll go over it.
And we get them on that lower Texas stuff you talk.
All right, no action there. Aaron's gonna check with Joe. Item number 5. Yes, sir.
I would like to speak on that for 1 second. So that's one portion of it, but the breach in the levee is also caused by the canal water coming up. Cause we can't pump it fast enough to get it out, to keep it below the levee. That's a portion of it. But also, there's a massive buildup of water from the 400 side and also coming down Georgette Street itself. There's only one cross culvert that runs across there, and it's a 12-inch culvert. we can't get the water off the street fast enough to the pumps to actually allow it to pump the water out. So we need to increase the piping size or put another cross culvert. I provided a drawing on 915 or 24 indicating, my opinion on it. And if we add this to bring more water to the reservoir and actually make it bigger, we can take a lot of that water out. Right now, you're facing a deadhead, 290s, and a long pipe. I actually timed it. Within 10 minutes, the pump kicked on and off 7 times because it drains it down, pumps out. It's just not getting enough water to the reservoir to keep the water off the residents. We in hip boots at night. Like
Can
I'm
we
standing in
straighten
the
the
guy's front
ditch
yard.
any, Ron?
Huh?
Can we straighten out the ditch or the culverts any?
No, because there's only one culvert that goes across and it hits a cement block, deadheads. And then it takes a 90 and it goes about 10 feet, then it takes another
Have
90.
enough room to put a 24-inch?
There it is. We have to measure it from our fence line, our adjoining property, and draw it to bring it into the reservoir. And we're gonna extend the reservoir size because we ultimately need a bigger reservoir to facilitate the pumps that's there. We're looking at about 3,500 gallons a minute. And it's going like that. And the water's just not feeding in fast enough to continue pumping. We build the levee up. It's gonna stop the water from the canal coming in, so we're just pumping out. It would tremendously help that way. And they did have some backwater on the backside of the home because we're not getting the water fast enough from the backside. So it was cleaned about 2 years ago, but it's only about 4 inches deep right now. So the water's infiltrating from both sides of it. If we get it there and we clean the reservoir, we'll see a big improvement on draining these people out. Because they had water all the way from Georgette to the church and above that, all the way to the crossroad. And infiltrating across the yards coming into Georgette. So we really need to look at trying to help these people in any way we
24-inch
can.
culvert would work, let's put it down.
Cause I had recommended an 18-inch, but we can go 24 if we can
I'd
fit it.
rather go 24, go
Yeah,
bigger.
we'll go bigger.
We would just have to put another cross culvert under the road, follow our property and come into the reservoir.
That's an easy fix there.
Is this not within the scope of the project that Savoy
It's
has
in the
right
scope,
now?
Yeah, so-
but we need to help.
Where he's
Something
been
has
at,
to
it's
be
time
done
to
now.
start
But-
doing something then.
You got, someone just walked in.
Where's that?
So,
Come on up here.
We flooded twice last week, once on Tuesday, once on Sunday,
I understand that.
All day long.
and previously many times.
So we're trying to get an update on, the Georgette pumping station, job that, Savoy has with Mr. Bro.
The Georgette pumping station, right. Is that the one that's combined with the Himalaya Canal and the Mare Canal? Okay, I was just making sure, right.
If you could just give us an update on all
Yeah, right now, we're in the plans of where we're working at the actual, pump station that's behind the church at the end of Conscient. Because we're looking at relocating the bar screen towards the end of Conscient. Upgrading the pumps, we're looking at sizing the pumps and everything right now. We've got cross sections of the canals that plans on being dredged. We included the Himalaya after the permit approval from the Corps. We improved that, we installed that into the plans also. And right now we're doing study and preliminary design.
So that's where he's at, Mr. Bro.
How about the levee? It's been breached.
The levee's been reached.
That's in part of his, the
It's
scope of
been
work is to
rebumped
raise the levee,
Right, yeah.
but it needs to be done now, like, it's been several years. And, until we raise it, we
The
still
levees
don't.
the levee that we are addressing is along the Mare Canal itself.
Correct, but it also turns and goes back up to Georgette.
Correct.
That section's in there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's included into the scope of work.
right, but like I said, we flooded twice last week. But I had to wear hip boots in the man's front yard. This is probably the 6th time or more I've been there with hip boots. We have to do something for these.
Mr. Bro, I'll recommend this to you. If you could meet with Mr. Blankenship and Joseph to identify
We gotta get it done.
what parts you can do sooner rather than later. Because I have no confidence that we're gonna be going out for bid within the next couple of months on this.
Yesterday.
I understand. I'm just giving you my recommendation on how it's best for you to proceed with this. Identify what parts of the project that Brian recommends that's that goes along with what the engineering solution is. We don't want to be counterproductive to what he's trying to do. If there's parts that we can implement with parish labor and parish drainage funds before we go out to bid, we do those parts now, and then he can just phase that out of the project whenever it goes out to bid.
That way we don't have to wait for Mr. Sabah because we're gonna be waiting for a long time.
Right, so we,
We ought to clean that, that's
yeah.
a quick project.
Right, like I said, you was in office, last week or whatever, and we showed you from, point A to point B. And towards the intersection of Oakley and the highway where we're gonna be installing a pump platform and a pump there
Hopefully we
also.
don't need a pump. We have enough downfall.
That's what we're looking all into right now.
We'll shoot it too with a transit. You don't want to put it, shoot it.
Correct. We're looking at.
That would relieve some of this water too, if it might come back this way,
Correct,
you see.
I'm saying.
And then we have going back from Oakley to the extent of the drainage district, which is about a half mile. Going up north.
Right.
What's the latest on that,
We've got, aerial images, getting rents. Joseph's looking at talking to a surveyor to see if we can get some elevations every 200 feet or so, along that, to see what type of fall, how deep or whatever we would actually need to propose to do with that. That's kind of where we at on that particular leg of, that canal for the scope of.
This water was moving very slowly, but at the Highway 1. And there's a lot of trees out in that canal going by from there. And that's the restriction, those trees.
Right.
You can see a few from the highway and you can see some further back. And it's completely covered.
Well, yeah, that's one of the major
In other words,
parts of
the
the
water ought to
scope.
get to the top to the highway.
Is canal clearance.
All we pumping from there, it should come all the way to the top, but it's not getting. And then it goes breaches to us, we re-pump.
Right.
I guess, I don't know.
And this was only a portion of the fix.
Right. Hopefully that works. Then we'd like to go to Supreme Canal, and open them both up, if we can get right of it.
So we're looking at including the Supreme
No,
Canal.
don't include them
also.
more on that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, but in that scope, there is in the drawings, I have the original drawings, that to install 2 at Conseil and Maurice pumps,
Right.
to install 2 additional pipes with gate valves on,
Mhm.
so we can actually control some water going into the outfall.
Right.
That would be a huge asset if we could get that portion of it now.
Now.
That's in the
Because-
scope of work now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can install that with the gate valves on it. That way we can open it and assist the pumps when the head pressure is a bit high on the inside. We can get the water naturally to pipe.
Right.
But like I said, we'll meet and we'll talk about it some more to push.
Okay. Anything more?
That's like a recap of where we at. So we'd be looking into all different aspects of the scope to cover it.
Estimated time for the plans to be finished.
I can have Joseph update y'all on that. I won't speculate on it without, speaking to him and taking a step back and looking at everything that's encompassing into the job. I'll have him give y'all an update.
That way Mr. Broke it flying out.
Definitely next week, or
This week,
before the end of this week, we can go walk the actual levee where the breaches took place and try to identify those and
That one,
come up with a plan of action for that right
we
away.
can extend the water out both.
All right, sounds good. Moving on. Item number 5, request approval for a culvert replacement at 113 Pauline Street, Ward 9.
This project involves replacing 100 feet of collapsed culvert and 2 damaged catch basins. It's a viable project.
Got a total cost of $3,050. Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor? No opposed? Motion carries. Do what? It's your ward.
Yeah, now, yeah.
All right.
Yes,
Item number 6, discuss the drainage concerns at 118 Paul Street.
Paul Street, this is that canal that runs, that run the back of the Paul Street. I did 2 or 3 down the street, bring the water from the back to the front. We can't get to that ditch to the back. That's what I'm doing there.
Yeah,
Move the water over from the back to the front ditch.
yeah, should be adding just 120 foot or 12 inch to connect the back drainage to I'm sorry, the rear drainage to the front drainage on Paul Street to kind of alleviate some of that.
That's back at Ken Noah's house,
The open ditch right now, or they have
but
called?
there's nothing there at all. We're gonna make a ditch. We're putting cross cover there. We did it down the street a couple places. We just need to get the water to the front ditch to go to the pumps. It can't go to the pump from the back ditch anymore.
Right.
So you're gonna be digging an outfall behind the residence on Paul Street?
Right, between the property line to go to the front ditch.
Well,
What happened when it
No,
was
it's
built
close.
up on the backside of the property, everything is the water's just staying there.
The water can't move.
yeah, like so some of it is actually enclosed drainage, like kind of what we did on like the back of Agnes Street. It's closed pipes in the rear. And this would just be taking like a part of the section that's closed and like tying it into the front section.
Diverted to the front. Make a motion on the floor.
Total cost $2,200, motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss drainage concerns on Gumbo Street.
Humboldt Street, if you look at the beginning of the yellow line, that's where the dish used to cross the road there and go across. Where the yellow line is, there's no ditch at all there. So we're gonna dig it out and put a pipe to put a ditch going to the back of to the swamp. There's nothing there at all right now.
Yeah, it's like some,
And the guy, he had the cement, they said they was gonna take care of the cement part of it, we just gotta try it now.
140 foot of some 12-inch culvert and one catch basin.
Right, what they got towards the end of the street? Now I see another driveway there.
There's a pipe there, just to drain his yard, that's all. But like, where the yellow line is, there's no ditch at all.
That's a good pipe that's going underneath that driveway, the
I
last
think so. They
driveway.
went, look at
Yeah,
it, I
it's
think so.
12, it's a 12-inch culvert. It appears to be in good condition. So we'll see if we can attach to it.
Motion floor.
Total cost of $2,750, motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn. By Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Patterson, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
You can get the carrier.
You are good.
I can take it. We'll call order Personnel Committee meeting. Let the record reflect that the chairman, Mr. Diaz, is absent. All the rest of the members are present. Item 1, discuss performance of parish manager.
Go to executive session.
Motion to executive session.
Motion by Mr. Nakane to go into executive session. I need a, not on the committee.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to read regular session.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Pineville,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're back in regular session. Chairman Diaz is now present, so he'll, take over the personnel committee meeting.
All right, item number 2, discuss hiring superintendent.
No action on what?
No action.
No action on that. Right.
Discuss hiring superintendent over daily operations.
Yes, sir. I'll put that on the agenda. I spoke with Aaron, and it looks like, Mr. Landry needs some help there running daily operations. So, Sarah, you wanna elaborate a little?
Yeah, it's, kind of with the day-to-day. I would like a little assistance and, with this, there was kind of someone I had spoke to last year about being like a number 2 person. And it conversated with him back and forth about it, pondered it, and I think it would be a good fit. And like right now would be a perfect time to actually put it to use. And that was for the assistant manager's position. And that was when I recommended to y'all that it be Paul Abear. Well, back then it was never put to a vote. Kind of went a different direction, but that's what I would recommend take place.
Okay, so you want the title to be superintendent, or you want it assistant parish manager?
I want to be assistant parish manager.
All right, and just kind of to relapse on what Aaron said, last week or so, Aaron took a little vacation, and they really had no one in charge. I mean, we had 4 general foremans in charge, but no one overseeing them, so, I'm gonna make a motion to go ahead and, appoint Mr. Paul Lebear as the assistant parish manager.
I second that motion.
Question, are you gonna backfill his position or you not?
I say no,
At this time, no.
he's doing it now.
Just a question.
You're still gonna stay over, drainage operating.
This is a lateral position, right? Same grade, same grade and pay?
I would recommend it come with an increase.
Well, wait till the next meeting to do what you gotta do, because you.
Yeah, I understand that without not really knowing what's gonna take place.
Right, and if you could bring with that, the scope of the assistant parish, the job description. And if we need to modify that job description to what helps you perform your duties best, have that for us at the next meeting. And then, if you could maybe get with Ms. Torres
We'll have a good one.
about the recommended increase, for that position, and we'll, have that discussion from a budget standpoint.
Are we voting on it now?
Okay, we approaching by Mr. Palmville, second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passed. Item number 3, request approval to hire part-time ULV sprayer truck driver at $20 per hour contractor rate.
Yeah, me and Mr. Claiborne, interviewed several individuals. And I placed a paper in front of y'all, with his recommendation.
Motion approved.
Motion by Mr. Nakam,
How many hours, per week, or it says part-time, I'm just,
27 or less.
right, that's
Yeah,
what I'm just
27.
wanting to make sure we have that on the record.
Just going back and remember, whenever we were doing interviews, it would be approximately 2 to 3 hours a night, Monday through Wednesday. So I would say 10, like on average.
Okay.
A week.
I'll second.
second by Mr. Blanchard. All in favor? Any nays? Got it.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Nakam. Second by Mr. Palmville. All in favor? Nays? Meeting adjourned.
Next, we'll call to order the Finance Committee meeting. Let the record reflect all members are present. Request approval to pay list of bills submitted through February 21st, 2025.
So
Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Request approval of the budget comparison statements for January 2025. All included in your
We
package.
included the.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Discuss remaining Gomesa funds.
Put it back on the agenda. President, you supposed to look over to see about that $1.8 million.
Right. So the question that was brought to us last time was that we could no longer use that as matching funds for federal grant. Right? Well, the HMPG grant has been, we've been made aware that it's 100% funded. There is no match requirement from the parish. So the funds that are there and allocated is what's needed to meet the project budget for those projects. The project budgets actually exceed what's available. So that's
So this 1.8 was set aside for matching funds. We never allocated for any project for the use it for.
no, I disagree with that. We allocated it to two projects, Brewer St. Martin outfall and Gallup Street levee extension.
For the match of those projects,
Yeah, not for the complete fund.
not for the complete project.
My
I got it.
understanding is that they were allocated to those projects.
This is from the minutes right here, if you want to look at it.
No, that's not the minute.
That came from me, that came straight from the office. They typed it up and sent it to me.
And I was just letting you know it couldn't be used for a match. My understanding is that that's the two projects that we allocated it to.
We never allocated that money. I mean, all these board members sitting up here, that money was set aside, $2 million was set aside for matching funds.
It was, and then it was tapped for other projects. And then before it would be completed, once it got down to 1.8, we allocated it to a specific project.
For match, on 10/11/2023, it was for match, the match for those two projects. So the match is no longer required, then
The 1.8
Chris
is
is
available.
saying it's still available, you're saying, well, let's just put it towards construction. But it was allocated for match.
It hasn't been spent yet.
And we got several areas, several jurors up here that haven't received any Go Mason money and have projects that need to be done. You know,
Mr. Ward 4,
Ward 4 received $1.4 million.
that's what I want to keep.
Nobody's trying to take that $1.4 million from you.
So what you saying, Chris?
Huh?
What you need?
I want to fund Joel Moore Street. I talked to, some other jurors. I think, Mr. Ira need some, Go make some money for a project. I think Big Daddy needs some Go make some money for a project. And it's still got some money left, but, I mean, I think everybody should get a piece of the pie.
Exactly. I might need $200,000-$300,000 for the Avenue bill. You know,
I might need more than what I have.
you know, and-
You got enough.
Engineer said,
You got
that's
enough.
what the engineer told me.
How much you need, Ira?
Just so long I don't lose.
100,000.
All right.
If it's.
Big Daddy,
300.
300. I need about $1 million for Joel Moore.
Leave it, have $1 million for me now.
1.4, still leave
I'm gonna
about,
take the rest.
$400,000 left.
Let me put positive.
I make a motion that,
I'll be short for sure on the ring levies.
I make a motion that we allocate $1 million to Joel Moore Street Drainage Project. 300,000 to Big Daddy Ward.
Can we be a little bit more specific?
Hey,
Liable to
we'll
drainage.
put this back on the next agenda.
Yeah,
Once you get us-
I think we need an engineering
Yeah.
estimate before we
Yeah.
can allocate the money to it.
That's
Every
fine.
other project we had on here, we had an
It's
estimate to go
fine.
along with it.
Mine is already estimate and it already planned for $1.2 million. I have $200,000 set aside already, so I need 1 more million. Mine is ready to go, shovel ready.
And what that is,
Joe Lamar Drainage Project.
we do 11 folks and all,
No, I need no levee pumps.
what you doing to it?
It's going in the community and fixing the drainage. It's.
Changing
Joe-
out culverts.
Huh?
Changing
Changing
out.
out cover.
This is a project that went out to bid, but the bid far exceeded the original estimate for the project.
So
Yes.
can we get another engineer to check that out?
GIS is already, that's already done. And GIS came back with a price of the 1.2.
So that was a bid that came back.
No, that wasn't a bid. It never went out for bid because we didn't have the funds for it.
Okay, you're correct, yes, I do recall.
So my motion is for Joe Lamar Street Drainage Project to get $1 million out of that money.
There's a motion,
Hold on, man.
Ladderville Drainage Project, get 300,000. And for, what's your name of your project?
Two pumps, just two 16-inch pumps.
For I already get $100,000 for 2 16-inch pumps.
Put it back on the agenda. for
And I would
next
like to
meeting.
get some for the
Put it on the
Lower
agenda.
Texas Canal. 400,000 at least.
That's my motion.
I'll second your motion.
all right, we're gonna take them one at a time, one project at a time.
All right, how you want to do it?
So the first project is a motion by Mr. Carter to allocate 1 million from Gomesa funds to Michael Joe Lamar Street.
That's gonna fix the problem there?
That is
Because
gonna
I don't
fix the
wanna
problem.
spend this money and the problem's not fixed.
No, that's gonna fix the problem. Already got Bertrandville Drainage Projects getting started. That is gonna fix that problem in that whole community. I motion for that.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Carter for Michael Joe Lamar,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That's an A.
Go in there.
Was
He's
that
not
an
on
A?
the committee.
He's
not on the committee.
I didn't say that.
Motion carried. So your next motion is to allocate 300,000 to Lavderville Drainage
Drainage.
Project.
Second on that one.
Can we put water now, just put it into the
Do you
drainage
have-
funds?
Hold on, Myra, I'm talking about
Right.
Lavderville right now. Do you have a project scope that you want to apply that to?
Yes. It's gonna be Lateral Drainage Canal from 1010 to. I don't have to stop it for you. But Highway 1010, I forgot the footage, right off, but.
So is the
It's a
intent,
Lateral Drainage Canal from Highway 1010 to the, just say the woods for now.
right, so is this a project that we're doing in-house?
I'm
Or
gonna
we're
have,
going out to bid?
I'll probably do the labor in-house, but I'll have to rent trucks, I have to rent equipment. So I'm gonna have to use the labor in-house.
Okay, we're just,
And that one, and also when I get the right of way to dig the Talbot property, I'm gonna have to use a bit of money for that also. I may go over, I may have to find some money somewhere else, but I think we'll eat up every bit of 300.
all right. Motion on the floor to expend 300,000 of Gomesa funds to Lavderville Drainage Canal by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion on the,
Next motion is for Ira for
Two 16-inch electric pumps.
the total.
It's 46 apiece with panels is right at 100. Brian's got
That's
that.
like 90, about
Yeah.
92, so.
Brian's got all.
We allocate 100,000, so motion allocate 100,000 to Ward 3 for the purchase of 2 pumps for the Lewis Drainage
Correct.
District.
so we got 400,000 left.
Yeah, so I'll make that
We need a
motion.
motion.
Second.
platform?
You got
a platform
and
all that?
I can handle that.
Motion for,
Motion by Mr. Carter for
second.
100,000 for Ward 3, second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Supposed to go Mesa funds. I don't have $15,000 left after the next
We
meeting.
can't transfer this to.
The drainage stuff, you can't do it?
I'd like to allocate the remaining funds to the Pierpont ring levies.
All right, there's a motion by Mr. Pineville to allocate the remaining Gomesa funds to the Pierpont Ring Levy project,
Yeah, up on the Bell Road.
to the Pierpont Bell River Ring Levy and are we talking about the ring levies along the highway?
Yes,
And the pumps, everything that's in that scope of work.
But for the
Highway
pumps
70.
along Highway 70
Yes.
that we have permits for.
Yes, and the existing, levies that was
in.
in that, ring levy plus, system.
487, it's 1.887, 896 remaining.
So
And
you
then
want
before we had
400?
1.4, so 487,
487.
896.
You want the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna still be short.
So they give you a budget of 2.6 million for that whole ring levy project, right?
Short.
Plus you got a $500,000 of capital outlay pumps that's in that project too.
Still short.
So you got another $3 million project. You should
Yeah.
have enough.
That's when we were not together.
Yeah, all that's
Eight
together.
and nine.
Yeah, all that's
Eight, nine.
together, 7-2.
Eight,
That's
Seven,
seven
two.
involved, seven involved in that
I
too.
mean, before we do that other four, I mean, let's be real. I think right now, the Labby community need the biggest help with,
Oh, God,
you got enough, so he don't need no more? I'm asking, I mean,
You should have enough.
I think it would.
okay, oh, y'all gonna be good, all right, girl.
Motion.
Motion.
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Ponville to allocate the remaining $487,896 of Gomesa
I just got
To
a
the
comment on it.
Ward
You
789
got some
Ring
mitigation.
Levy
there.
project.
You ain't gotta mitigate now? Okay,
We're good to go.
okay.
All right, I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Carter.
Joe?
No, that's ring levies.
Oh,
That's on
All in
Highway
favor?
70.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, discuss the grants management contract with South Central Planning Development Commission and their request for a 30,000 increase to complete year one of the contract.
South Central Planning has been doing an outstanding job for us, and I definitely make a motion, for this request for that $30,000 increase.
Does that come out the grant?
No, there's no grant for it to
There's
come
no
out.
We need to negotiate this.
I mean, the only thing, I mean, I understand we're in the midst of it right now, but gentlemen, you know, if we're gonna put an $80,000 price tag on it, we might have been able to hire an employee
Yes,
with
that's what I'm saying.
experience for
That's why we went this
$80,000.
route.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we done
Motion
hired
to
and
table.
hired and hired, and we still.
We
We
spend
never
out
hired
there.
at $80,000.
Right, exactly.
And-
Motion to
and-
table for that.
And we also, but again, they're gonna stop doing all work. Because they have exhausted they saying they have exhausted their $50,000, so they're gonna stop all work. This just goes back to what I keep telling y'all, that no grant is free. There's always cost associated with it. Here we are. For everyone we keep adding them to work on, the tally's going higher and higher.
Motion to table.
There's a motion to table by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Ponville. Are there any action items so that we can bring it up at the next meeting?
Say,
Not yet, but,
let's talk to them. Let's see if we can negotiate this.
No further items for Finance Committee.
Motion
Motion
adjourned.
adjourned, motion adjourned by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Solid Waste Committee meeting, all members are present. One item on solid waste is a request approval to access liquidated damages in accordance with the contract for refusal to collect bulk waste at 431 Highway 1000, Ward 7.
So there's a correction to that address. The address is actually at 517.
All documentation is done, pictures, letters sent to them,
Um,
all communications with Mr.
We have had none.
contract doesn't require us to do that. So here's what happened. The resident there tore down their shed and put it by the road. And there's some corrugated metal in there. And they called me and asked me about bulk waste pickup. I gave them the number to Waste Depot. They called Waste Depot and Waste Depot told them it was not in the scope of their contract to pick up that material, so they weren't picking it up. I disagree with that. We've had meetings here about what's in their scope, what's not in their scope. And they're deciding what they pick up, not us. And we're entitled to assess liquidated damages for them not picking up at addresses. So that's why I'm here to enact that part of the contract,
What's the amount?
$50 per pickup.
Did anybody from the jury talk to them at all?
The
I mean,
the way that the contract reads, failure to collect within 72 hours of verified notification to contractor. So if there was a verified, request for it to be, reviewed and picked up, and they denied, and it was not picked up within 72 hours, then that's where the liquidated damages come into play.
Right, our instructions were for the homeowner to contact Waste Depot. I instructed the homeowner to contact them, let them know, make them aware of that pile. Whenever they came, they told the homeowner that they were not picking it up because that was not within the scope of their contract. And I think that corrugated metal is bulk waste and they should be picking that up.
I think the 72 hours thing,
That the parish or?
It doesn't,
It doesn't say,
it's general,
okay,
it's
okay.
general. And look, yeah, you've been very lenient with this
I
contractor.
know, I know.
Not to say we shouldn't just get him to the table. I don't think this is out of line. It's $50 and they need to be more responsive. We haven't got an update on, challenged pickup locations in months. And we asked them to attend meetings. They failed to. I think there's gotta be some standard set in order to make sure you're holding the contractor accountable.
okay, what did they call?
Had the 72 hours passed and
Well, you say, I think the 72 hours probably looking at some out of the old contract, when they used to pass every day on, every week. This contract here only passed twice a month.
Yeah, but if we call them for this pickup.
Well,
they have 72
no,
hours.
not- So if a residents call them and they got 72 hours to come,
I
even if
think,
they
I
ain't
think
pick
they
up?
gotta come from us.
There's a 24-hour deadline, and then there's the 72 hours for the liquidated damages. There's two separate provisions that we're referring to. The 24 hours is basically in line with our request. 72 hours is if they fail to do it after we've already verified the site location, which has been done in my
Yeah,
estimation.
they still have not picked it up. That was last week they were contacted. They had a pickup, a collection day last week. They did not collect it and it's still not collected today.
I'm gonna make the motion to go ahead and, assess the liquidated damages.
A second.
Motion by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed?
I vote nay.
One nay. Motion carries. Any other business? Motion adjourned. Motion adjourned by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Pineville, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move right along to engineering. Record reflect all members are present. First item, update from GIS Engineering, concerning Jollymore, Bertrandville, Belrose, Plottville.
Good afternoon, jury. Dwayne Vaillant, GIS. Joe Lamar looks like it may be getting some funding now, so we can, talk about that as dispersed. Bertrandville, notice to proceed was on February 24th. Contractor started mobilizing, equipment. So we're on pace with them. They seem to be confident that 120 days, it's not gonna take nearly that long, so.
Has the right of way issue been addressed?
Put Karan in touch with Joseph, and Joseph did talk to the landowner. Don't know what came about. But that was between the engineer of record and the contractor, directed in that way. Belrose Lane, haven't received any update on that regarding the procurement of the.
No, we're waiting for our bid period to be over and
Gotcha.
be able to purchase those large diameter culverts.
So we'll work with Joseph on finalizing that stuff. And, Plottville drainage is going on, no issues there. Certified payroll is being done.
On the Plottville drainage, can we discuss the fill material that's being removed from that site? I believe I was informed that that material would be for the parish. We've got to use it on other projects and
The parish has been from day one. We told him whatever he want, come get it. He never made a move to come get it. So what you want me to do?
no, I'm just
Yeah,
asking
whatever
what
he
our plan
want.
is for it because
Whatever he want,
Yeah,
from day one,
we have to,
whatever he want.
yeah, we have to get a machine, if they're not gonna.
Gotta be able to haul it. Gotta be able to haul it.
no, I understand, but if we can use this material for another project and we can get trucks, if we have to contract trucks to move it and haul it out the way.
Whatever you
I just,
want. So it's up to you. I told him that. I
when
told
it
him
started.
that. Whatever.
When it started.
I'm not gonna haul it. I'm not gonna haul it, but if you want it, you come get it. Cause I don't have the money in the budget to be hauling. But if you want it, you come get it. Whatever you want, whatever the parish wants.
Who got that section? Who subbed that out?
we're going through, just go through Byron Top. And I can give you the superintendent's number who's over the job. Yeah, whatever you want, you got it. I've been telling you that from day one.
So you don't have time to go get it and bring it to Ezekiel.
I don't have the trucks.
No, you don't.
No, and that's the thing, if we have a project that we can use it for, and we can hire some trucks to move the material to save project costs later.
Go with
think
it.
We had Gerald Street, but
I got enough
Gerald
dirt
Street.
to build your whole 15 ring levies.
I'm gonna call them and see what they're.
Been telling
see
you
what
that,
they are.
yeah.
And we could stockpile.
You stockpile it, you got it. You just gotta go get it. Thank you for the help.
Wait, give me,
You gotta find out. where
Yeah,
you gonna
I've
get-
been telling them that.
You gotta find out where you gonna get the fund for get the trucks to haul.
Around.
His number? Okay.
No,
yeah, Aaron,
what
go
project
ahead and
wanted,
get that
yeah.
information.
What project wanted?
I need some.
All right.
Mara needs some.
No,
Wait.
well, either, if y'all give me, let me know where y'all want to go. If not, like when me and Mr. Ron had talked the first time, it was gonna be just to get a price per cubic yard from whoever Byron subbed it out to, just to deliver it. We'll stockpile at the dump in a certain spot where we were stockpiling our other good dirt.
I don't know, if we have a place that we can bring it closer to where the projects are gonna be, so we don't have to pay to move it twice.
No, yeah, I get it.
I think that, so give us a couple weeks to figure out if we can secure a spot closer where these levies need to be at Pierport. And just haul it one time there.
Bring
Don't
some
dump
more
site.
forward, you.
11.
We all that done now.
Levy, I got
You
it
can talk
done.
about how to dump site.
I can do it damn eye.
All right, figure it out, Aaron. You got anything on Libreville for me?
We should have a high level recommendation on what we would perceive to be or help alleviate that drainage issue. By the next board meeting, I have ideas, but I'm just finalizing.
All right, you have that for me.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else for GIS? Is it, any questions? Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you.
Update from the Planet Design Group, Gerald Street Levy Project and ring levies in Fairport Bell River.
Good evening, Joe Gould with DDG. Regarding the Gerald Street, levy, we think we had notified you guys there was an HMIA, basically a drainage analysis that was requested. We prepared and submitted it in December, I'm not sure exact date. We got confirmation last week that the hydrologist still hasn't looked at it. So as soon as the state Office of Coastal Management hydraulic H&H guy blessed it, then we will still be waiting on the LDQ water quality permit and your mitigation requirements. So we did some numbers, just to test the waters to see what the mitigation credits would be going for now. And it's gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood, depending on who you contract with, between 45 and 50,000 for mitigation.
Per acre.
Well, we got it down to where we think it's only gonna be 1 acre. So they haven't given us the official, but that's what we think, that's what we're trying to get them at. So, now remember, that's because we changed the footprint where we're not taking inside two or inside the system. We're gonna bring in material. We shortened that footprint.
That should have been the plan all along.
Yeah, no, we had left it open and then we said, hey, just to bring that mitigation cost down. So it'll cost you more to bring in the dirt, but it'll cost you less in mitigation.
So can we start all that dirt? Can we start the project?
Your project?
Gerald Street.
No, we don't have a permit
Yeah,
yet.
you gotta wait for the permit.
We don't,
Oh, we
the
got
permit
the
hasn't been,
solar pump is-
Yeah, you should have the permit
Oh, they had a permit.
in a month or two, you know?
no, that's what he's saying. We'll have the permit in a month or two.
Yeah. then
You
you-
start stockpile.
Yeah,
All right,
all right.
All right, still waiting on comments on the other stuff. The report that we gave you guys, we haven't received any comments on it, so I'm just letting you know.
this is the deadline.
No, it's your report, whenever you,
Oh.
yeah. So,
Who's gonna put that together? What's that? That report he's waiting on.
No, he sent us a
He
report.
wants comments on the report.
if you have comments, if you have none, that's not a problem. So we can just finalize it at the elevation that it is and you're done, so.
So, I mean, it looks good to me, The elevations look good.
Right, their report just gave us estimates to raise certain levies and how much it would cost to do all of the levies, and basically it's way more money than we have. And
The elevations look good.
we gotta decide which levies we want to increase to those elevations, that's basically it. So on the design of the ring levies, is that something that DDG is gonna submit a task order under the RFQ to?
Yeah,
Do the
so
design?
if you remember when we put in the proposal, there were questions about when we had asked, we asked you, you want a core certified, what elevations, remember, we didn't know what we know now. What's in that report answers a lot of these questions now, but we asked you a bunch of questions about, do you want plans for one? Do you want plans for all 15? Full geotech, because at the time, we didn't know what the geotech was, so it would require full geotech. So in our discussions, we said, hey, we'll do this first set as a phase, which we provided, and then in the proposal, it said, once you guys review that, we can give you a cost to do the, whatever plans you decide you want to do. Now that you have a cost estimate, we can provide you, you just need to let us know which ones you want.
What is the cost? On the cost estimate?
It's in the report that he submitted to us, but
I'll back to you.
I'm just asking this question because I know Mr. Pineville, he has some uncertainty there as to if DDG was actually gonna design the levies or if you were only applying for the permits.
So actually, I can give you the contract. We basically did the full assessment, provided you the cost estimates, provided you the geotech, provided you, the survey, sorry, and the recommended cross sections and the cost estimates associated with each reach. And then the discussion back then was, we'll limit the proposal to that. And then once you see what it's gonna cost you, instead of sending us out to go design everything that you possibly couldn't construct anyhow, you would review this report and say, okay, we want to construct this, this, and this, give us a price to finish those plans.
Okay, I'm just trying to bring it to some clarity because I think there was some confusion there. I know Mr. Pineville wasn't under this impression that we were waiting on him to determine what levies we need to start engineering.
Yeah. So the recommendations are in that binder, right? You need to look at there and say, okay, we can afford to do this reach. Obviously, information came out today that there's material available that might change,
Change that again?
it might change the cost as well, because one of the discussions we had with you guys, did y'all have a borrow pit, and there was nothing available, so we were going with the assumption that you were gonna be publicly bidding this to whoever has borrow. But if you have borrow material, it could change those costs that we provided to you. Now,
I got all that stuff that the dump site, bring that in, my dump is, that was.
Any questions, any more questions? All right, thank you, sir. See you. Next item, update from Infinity Engineering on Parish-wide sewer plant improvement project. Is somebody here?
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good evening, jurors. My name is Daniel Mosin with Infinity Engineering. Brian was not able to attend this meeting, but he let me know that there is no change to the project status since the last juror meeting. In addition, we have selected advertisement and bid dates that may need to be pushed back based on when we receive the rest of the front end information to complete the bid package. And if anybody has any questions, I will forward them to Brian and he'll follow up tomorrow.
All right, any questions?
Rayetta, how you come in with that information?
Ebony was, Jeff spoke to Mr. Calabro.
I think Ms. Ebony wants to meet with me to review, and then we're gonna return some information to them. In order to move.
She expects the bid date to be pushed back a week or two.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mushin.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Okay. Can you hang up?
I need him to hang up.
Can you hang up?
Fucking geek out. Yeah. Actually, this is a copy. I'll leave it for you. Okay.
Mr. Mushin,
Yes.
hang up now. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, update from South Central Planning Development Commission.
You missed, Ray.
Ms. Rayetta, update from Account Grants Coordinator.
Good evening. Update from ELOS, the RFQ for engineering services for Bayou St. Vincent is due on March 20th at 3 p.m. Constant Canal, GIS is working on revisions to the HMH study, which should be completed by the end of March. I also have two requests. For Highway 1 and 308 sidewalks, request for approval and authorization for president to sign the agreement.
We get a motion on that one, guys?
For the highway,
Highway,
is-
1 and 308
On
sidewalks.
tap sidewalk project?
Yes, let's have.
motion by Mr. Ponville. Second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And a request for approval and authorization for president to sign the commitment letter for Louisiana Highway 403 sidewalks.
Motion by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Ponville, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Now we get an update from, South Central Planning and Development Commission. Press approval, go ahead. Pat?
Sure. Pat Gordon, South Central Planning. Just to let you know, at the last meeting, I believe Leslie Long and Ebony Bailey were here and gave a presentation on the LCDBG program as well as DRA. And the police jury indicated that they would come up with a wish list for one of the meetings in March. So I think that's a deadline that y'all need to be looking at if you want to apply for the LCDBG or DRA. Of course, those projects were not on the list that we had submitted or we agreed to with the grant management program. Also, OCD, the last day to apply for LGAP for OCD will be Friday. After that time, we were going to contact OCD and find out how much money is left that Assumption can apply for the remaining money. We're going to still do that next week. Okay, I'm gonna call up Tracy Watts and find that out. We did submit the Belrose Lane Drainage Project cost analysis to Rayetta. We're gonna make a couple of modifications on that and send it to her tomorrow, but that passed. It was acceptable. And also the trash receptacles, we did go through a webinar today. There has to be a Love the Boot event first week of April, and we're gonna put that on, as well as being the recipient of the trash cans and having them stored somewhere in Assumption. I guess you'll have a public works yard or something that we could store those at until they're installed. So that's all we have right now, and we're going to be getting some other information to Ms. Kim regarding the previous invoices. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Any questions for Mr. Gordon?
So on the, you mentioned the Love the Boot event that needs to happen in April.
Yes, April. Yes.
So I was contacted by Dow Chemical in conjunction with the Keep Assumption Beautiful and Love to Boot, that whole campaign. They're wanting to discuss having a household hazardous materials collection day like they do in Iberville and West Baton Rouge Parish. They're wanting to extend that to Assumption Parish as well.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They will
So-
sponsor it.
Yes,
Sponsor the
they'll
whole thing?
sponsor, yeah, just like they do in Iberville Parish. We just have to discuss with them a collection location and planning for the event. I just didn't know if that would qualify for
Absolutely.
this requirement they needed to. have.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We just have to go through social media and make sure it's well advertised.
Sure, I'll tie you in with it as well
Okay,
once we,
do that,
we
please.
get some plans in place.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you.
Next item, update on fire hydrant projects.
I think we need to approve that motion for the sign task order 2.
Yeah. Motion to some task order to President sign task order 2.
What is task?
So barrels, right, that's all one of them right here?
Right, so the original project, if you remember, it went out to bid and it came back higher than, the funds we had allocated for it. So because of the rescope, their, GIS is administering the bids for that project. And they expended the bid administration funds for advertising and so forth, so they had to issue another task order to basically
How much is it?
to do it again. I don't have the,
You're right, this is Bell Roach.
Yes.
It was extended at 2750, which was what the original bidding phase was.
27,500.
No,
2,700.
$2,750, I believe, it was matching the original submitted bid phase for that particular
And this
project.
is out of the construction money?
Yes.
All right, motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Fonda, all in favor?
Uh,
Opposed, motion carries. Update on, fire hydrants project?
We got a change order.
who would have thought?
Yeah, really.
Update on the fire hydrants, our office contractor, representative from the waterworks and the fire districts, went around the parish and located, the hydrants that were on the priority list that was given to us, from each fire district. We identified the more crucial ones that would need to be replaced or added in locations that was requiring, you had one from too far of a distance away. We located those. Contractor has started ordering, required materials, for just due to lead time. We've gotten in touch with Mr. Aaron. As of this week, he got, the contractor himself going to pick up 3 of the hydrants and a couple of the gate valves. And he's gonna be on site, or he's gonna start mobilizing on Monday, bringing in limestone and all that. And he's gonna be starting, I think, on James Street in Peelport, because he's gonna, I guess, approach it where, in that area, there's a lot of, or multiple ones that already have shut-off valves that's connected to the hydrant piping itself or fittings, where you can isolate it on its own. There's other ones that there is no shut-off valve at the actual hydrant location. So the change order that you see in is along Bell River Road. And I think the address is 143 or 147 Bell River Road, where they need to install a fire hydrant. But there is the only shut-off valve. There's no shut-off beyond that, or the closest shut-off valve is near the bridge at Bell River. And the insertion valve would serve the purpose as you can insert this particular valve here, and that way not everybody further down the line is going to be without water for a period of time. So that was recommended by the waterworks.
There's a lot of people live behind there.
Yeah.
The old, like Tranquil, all
Yeah,
that.
so you're talking, quite a few hundreds of, maybe not
So in
thousands
that
of
case,
customers.
we may be here approving 20, 30 of these valves to shut off, water throughout this project.
Yeah, this is for 100.
Yeah, this is one hydrant.
Yeah, it's an insertion hydrant where the line can stay live while you're inserting the hydrant. As speaking and riding around the parish with the waterworks, this is the only one that we came across of as of so far. With, because the list of priority for each fire district, there was a list of 10 hydrant locations, which we're not gonna have the money to do all 10 for every fire district. So we now, the fire district reps narrowed them down to 5 in each one of the districts. And this is the location, and being that he's starting in the Fairport Bell River area that, it's gonna be required to have an insertion valve if y'all entertain of keeping the line active while this hydrant's.
How long does it take to change it out? How long it will be without water if it would not?
I would have to find that out and, get back with y'all on that. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, maybe a 48-hour period or a little.
Change
bit
one
more.
hydrant?
Well, because you need to do chlorination and all that also, and that's a 24-hour wait for the chlorine.
That's not what I want, it's just a ball water hydrant. Still got water.
But as far as update, that's where he's at now with the contractor. He'll be mobilizing on site, bringing stone and getting, we're gonna get in touch with Mr. Aaron. He's gonna show up with a bigger trailer to start getting, more hydrants delivered to his starting points.
I would like to table it till we see how long they actually they'd have to turn the water off.
What is the price for the change order?
50.
15,440.
Almost a third of the whole total project.
Is this for the valve and the installation of it?
Yeah. That's
It doesn't say that.
material, labor, that's the.
It just says that it's for the installation of it. It doesn't say that it's for material as well. That's why I'm asking.
Comments.
So of we have 5 departments, you said narrowed it down to 5 priorities for each department.
Right.
Of those 25 hydrants, how many of those hydrants have y'all put your eyes on? And of those 25, this is the only location that this valve is gonna be necessary?
With us, speaking with the waterworks, as of right now, yeah, that's what we
You
found.
keep putting a qualifier as of right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I guess when you
we could
start
change
digging.
that.
Well,
If you've already written
If you
them,
start digging down and the shut-off valve that's supposed to be there is not functioning anymore, or you have to, tie in prior to the actual fittings that connect the hydrant to the main line. That I can maybe foresee something like that, but that's, you don't know until you start digging. And
That's
start
where you start
getting
the
to these
job.
fittings and
Yeah, this-
valves.
Like I said, this is a big area. They got to buy a tractor there. Oh, that's a lot of people live down there to be out of water 24
If
hours.
this is the only one, I'd be good with it.
right, and I guess the other thing that we need to consider is, this is about the cost of 3 or 4 hydrants that we were told on average. So,
And the waterworks is recommending it due to the fact for future maintenance, down the road, I
no,
guess.
I understand that, but I think we need to look at, we don't want to run out of hydrants before we
Correct.
address the 25,
Correct.
because we run out of funds.
This way down to 22.
That's right. So do we
Start on the other
reapproach?
end of the parish and.
But no, do we reapproach Fairport and basically, here's the money allocation for each fire department
Correct.
to get as many hydrants as we can for that amount of money? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
It's-
understand.
From the cost per hydrant, this is almost one department's allocation from what I understand.
Just to-
Right.
You only got a pot of money. When you use it up, it's gone.
You got
Well, we table it.
Well, we can't, we
Get
just
get
can't
back
have,
with
we
the
can't turn
fire
the water
chiefs
off.
to
and
make
fire-
sure
A
that
fire goes on.
what's on their
House.
priority list of hydrants. Make sure this one was on there.
It is.
It is.
I say we
It was
table it.
in
The
the
fire
for
chief
the
just
water
texted me
plant.
and said this is not on his priority list. So let's verify that.
Okay.
We told you that?
Table it.
Table it.
Chief.
All right, we'll table that for now. More information, next meeting, please.
Okay.
Next item, update on Ag Center roof. Projects.
We just, no further update at this time. Mr. Joseph was out of the office.
So did they have any action? Do you know anything?
Brent, do you have anything to update on the Ag Center roof?
Yeah, we met with Mr. Aaron in regards to, looking at the scope of the project. We identified a couple of other, areas of the main roof itself to be addressed, but also what was discussed in, as far as scope of work was, relocating the electrical panel that's inside the concession building itself and moving it to the outside.
They ain't telling us that. This all same old, same
Yes,
old.
we got that information already.
Same
As in
old.
regards to adding
Yeah,
the
this
mounted
goes.
lights and, okay, I wasn't in on
Yeah, I think the only thing they're doing is changing the roof, that's it.
it. Okay.
We're trying to see if we have a package that can go out for bid.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
need
to know.
next meeting. Y'all can't have that next meeting.
No, right.
Y'all done. I'm gonna get somebody else.
Yeah.
This is too long.
Way
Way too long.
Okay.
Too long.
You sure about that, Jeff?
Yeah, way too long.
Get that on record, please.
Put it,
Okay, Jeff?
it's recorded. It's recorded. Way too long. Update on courthouse renovations project? Anything?
I believe we're still waiting on the sewer survey that was taken. I believe Mr. Blankenship's in communication with the plumbing group. So we'll have some more information hopefully at the next meeting on that. Judge Faulkner Menard is here to speak on placement of a judge's seat. I know we have some communications relative to a rental, but she wanted to address the jury as well as related to that matter.
Thank y'all for allowing me to talk to y'all. You know, I just been thinking the whole time I'm sitting here because I had some time to think. And you know, anytime you have a baby, you think, how in the world am I gonna afford this kid, right? And after you have the baby, you feed them, you pay for their school, and they graduate from high school. That's what I feel like. I'm y'all baby. We need to figure out a way to get me in somewhere. My biggest fear when I got elected was I wouldn't have an office here, and it's come to fruition. So I took the bench January 1st. I've been driving 75 miles a day to Gonzales. I kicked another judge out of his office so I would have somewhere to work. I don't know if y'all know this, and I'm sure y'all do. Y'all are legally obligated to provide me an office space, and I don't have one. So we're now at the end of February. We've spoken to Rob, who owns the building there. I spoke to him, I think in December, he decided that he was gonna help us and he could move me there. It was great. 2 windows have been changed. There's no new floors, there's still a leak in the roof. There's no electricity in the office. So we haven't had a judge here in 4 or 5 years. I want to be here. I want to represent Assumption Parish, and I don't have anywhere to go. And I just wish that we could kind of communicate and figure something out. Whenever I moved to Gonzales, Erin was in the bank building. That wasn't even an option. She had storage there. She's out now. I don't know if that's an option. Jess Wagasback said on the side of his office, he'd be happy for us to go look at it and renovate something. He wants to sell it. Simmons and Savoy, we could build a partition and go in the back of there, but they want to sell their building too. I mean, I even went look at Pickle's little bitty office on the side of Pick's Pit Stop to try to get us there. I just want y'all to know, I want to represent y'all and I need an office space here. And I just think there needs to be some deadlines and some timelines or something, because we're now almost March and we don't even have a plan. And I'm not expecting you all to say today, oh, this is it. I don't know if you need to talk about it. I just need something to get moving. Like we need some timelines, some deadlines. I mean, we could get local contractors in the bank building and have that done in 2 weeks. It doesn't need electricity. It doesn't need a roof. It just needs cosmetic stuff. Like you were renovating a house that had everything already. And we need to be safe. I don't know if y'all know, but they designated me as family law. Everyone's gonna be mad at me. They're paying child support. I'm dealing with their kids. I'm dealing with a lot of things. So, I mean, I love Pierreport, but I can't be all the way in Pierreport unless the sheriff's station is right there. You know what I mean? Like we just need to be around the courthouse and I need to be safe and secure. It's me, my law clerk, a secretary, and a receptionist. So I need 4 offices. And I'm begging and pleading for you all to figure something out.
Well, we thought Rob's place would be ideal, but no action, nothing taken.
We've worked through I've sent him a draft. As soon as I got the lease, and we were begging him to get the lease. I reviewed it the same day he got it to me and I sent him back an updated draft. I believe it's been 2 weeks. Mr. Blanchard and I have tried to stay on him, but if there's no work being done in the facility, that's extremely problematic. We can do all the paperwork we want, but if the facility is not prepared and ready, we're kind of just spinning our wheels at this point.
Yeah.
I do want to give him the opportunity because I think it's a great location. But in the event that falls through, I think what the judge is asking for is just, do we have an alternate option for it?
All right, timeline.
We still written from the bank where Aaron had us.
Term that lease because the jury decided they didn't want to put money into renovations into a building that's not ours.
But also the elevator was an issue. You
And
said
the elevator.
you had to have the elevator operational to you in order to be able to occupy
And
that
that was
building.
not.
And it was non-negotiable by Capital
Yeah,
One.
that's a safety issue.
So that kind of ruled that one out. So what I suggest is, let's give Mr. Martin
Can we send him a letter, like, give him like a 2-week notice to give us
That's
some
my
answers?
thing. I mean, I'm just saying, if I had, parish
Timeline.
government telling me they're gonna rent for me, just get it done. Like, you have 2 weeks, get your contractors there and get it done. You have 3 years of a lease coming, or however long you decide to do a lease for. Like, I just can't be in September and everyone's still saying, okay, are you gonna do it? You know what I mean? Is it a prime location? Absolutely. Why he's not starting the renovations, I don't know. I don't know if there's a money issue. I don't know what's going on. It's absolutely none of my business. I didn't ask. But I do know that leases have been sent back and forth and nothing's happening.
So we send him a letter to give him a timeline.
We signed the contract?
No, we haven't got the draft. I've been pursuing him as far as the draft that I sent to him, the revised version. And we're just trying to get that in our hand. We told him that that was the one that was acceptable in our form. I believe the primary issue is the work in the building, and I haven't been there. I don't know what's been done or not, so I can't speak to that.
All right, so what would be plan B?
I authorize, the Gerald authorized you to contact Mr. Martin.
Okay.
Instead of this letter back and forth stuff, make contact with him soon.
And tell him
It's
he has until
exactly
the next
what's
meeting.
right. Yeah,
Until the
Give
next
him a
meeting.
timeline to give us some answers and.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta have something, so that's what I suggest.
And
Let Mr. Carlisle
the alternative, gentlemen, just so we're clear, I think what she's asking for is.
Plan B.
If that falls through, what's plan B? So I guess we don't need an answer on that today, but that is something that we need to be engaged on and find out what happens down the road.
You need
And what other options? You said some folks were selling their building?
So Jess Swag is back by the hospital. I didn't go in there, but when I spoke to him, he said it could be partitioned off, but it's for sale. He wants to put his building for sale. Simmons and Savoy, we could put a partition in the middle. The issue becomes, they need a kitchen in the front and we need a bathroom in the back. I can't share an office with anyone as a judge because of the nature of the things that come through our office unless it's completely separate. So we just have to partition the middle and like build something on each side, but their building's for sale too. Leland just bought the Barbera property. I don't know if he's gonna donate it to the parish. I haven't spoken to him. I'm just saying, if he is, build me 1,100 square foot something, put me a modular home. I don't care. Just put me something.
They got the little, they got the kid.
It's not big enough. We looked at it.
Those is-
Believe me, that has been thought about.
Well, we need to work.
We're gonna get
We
together,
got it.
Tony, and figure out something.
So just to put some timelines on it, that's if we don't have an agreed to move-in date by a week from today, I think that should be enough time for, Mr. Martin to agree to a move-in date. If we don't have something by a week from today, then we can start pursuing other options. So we'll take 1 week to get a positive response from him. If no response, then we'll pursue other options and present them at our next meeting.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge.
Next item, discuss issues arising to the consolidated sewer district household connections.
No, that was, Chris, that's involving that visit you took to that resident. Residents with the sewer district.
Any update?
Yeah, I went out there to the resident house. She got a brand new, she got a personal system right in her front yard. You can see it from the road. Then she's landlocked in from the sewer system district. She got a lot on this side of her. She got a lot on this side of her. LA1 is right there. And then she got property back there. There's no way she was tied in. She's not tied in. She never was tied in. She got her own system. And even for her to get tied in, she would have to get permission from the land on the side of her to run into the system.
That may not be granted. That may not be.
Might not even be granted. There's no way for her to tie in unless.
Her neighbors are tied in?
I don't know, because the one neighbor's a vacant lot.
The as-built showed that she is, the engineer says she is, but me and Mr. Carter both see that she has her own system.
Yeah.
So the as-built.
And when y'all went out there to check, y'all couldn't find a way to show.
Not in the back, no, you're right, it goes to the front.
Gentlemen, I thought the issue was the sanitarian not being allowed on site. Did she speak to that?
Yeah, she said she had no problem with sanitation coming on site. Just that when the lady whoever went there was very rude, so she told me to get off her property.
Okay, can we move in that direction, Paul? Can we get back in touch with the city? If she's gonna allow that, that's gotta be the first step. Because we can't just eyeball it and think that we know something. We need to get them on site to make us aware of what the exact situation is, then we can decide what happens next.
Okay, gentlemen, we also had a lady that came in the office today about two different, addresses today, one on Bertrand and one on, Douglas Street. She's questioning us as well as to what's the process and how does she find out if she has a lateral or not? I mean, we directed her to Road and Bridge and seeing if they can go out and probe, but she's gonna come to the next meeting and that's gonna be her request. How does she know she even has a lateral so that she can get in contract with a plumber to connect?
It was a lady who emailed me in like November, because I found the emails. She had emailed you too, if I'm not mistaken, back then. I had stepped her through the whole process of when you're contacting the permitting office, if we have to go check to see if somebody's tied in or if they have a lateral. I walked her through that. If she is in a district and there has one, I walked her through the whole contacting her own plumber, setting it up, we'll expose the tie-in, certified plumber will make the tie-in, and then she'll be put into the system. That was back in November. It was the same lady from today. I don't know if it's the emails back and forth between me and her were more of like why is this being required? She wanted paperwork stating
Tons
of
of paperwork.
of what is requiring this. I forwarded to the Department of Health.
So with the drawing show on that.
I get it 100%. Listen, it's a state law, it's not a parish law saying that they should be tied in, right?
Correct.
We shouldn't be the ones that's forcing them to tie in. The health department should be the one to say, okay, it's a state law. We want y'all tied in. We come out and inspect. You're not tied in, we're gonna force you to tie in. It shouldn't be the parish doing it.
But what do we tell them when they, and I totally agree with you, but what do we tell them when they come to us and say, do I have a lateral?
We don't know because when Paul look at the drawings, he can't tell.
But they don't accept that.
If that's
I
the
mean-
case, why are we, digging
Why are
up
we-
the lines? For them to connect.
Tell me that. I don't
No,
know.
I'm asking you.
But, you know, we start charging some of these people and they're not connected. Some of them even have a line to connect. The drawing is not accurate, where we can look at them and tell them, okay, you do have an outlet here to connect to.
Right.
I just think we moved too fast on it.
We didn't move too fast. I mean, if the drawings are not right, we need to get with the engineer. If he can't supply us, the real
But
drawings.
we already charging these people, and they don't even have an outlet to connect. And the house been there for years.
Because they should have been on the system.
Should have been, but it's not there, and you charging them
So
for
we
a
need a-
service that they're not using.
And let's go back. When that was created.
So this
they
all
would
comes
get-
back
they-
to the engineer that.
No,
drew the plan.
no,
Come
you're
over
putting it
here,
on the
that
engineer,
line.
you're putting it on the engineer, and you had
We
jurors
had a set
back,
of as-built
listen, you had
drawings, and
jurors
it showed
back
that it's
then
connected and
that
it's
gave
not.
people the
No,
option
quit
not to
taking
tie
up
in. They gave them option not to tie in. That's what
And
happened.
that was
That's why
wrong.
we're at the,
And that was
that's
wrong
why
on
we're
the
here.
And that
engineer
was
part.
wrong, but how do we fix it? We have
How
to
you
move
gonna
from
fix
it.
How you
We
gonna
have
fix
to,
it?
well, that's why
How
we're
you gonna
here,
fix it?
because this woman is coming and she wants to know an answer. Where do I find my lateral? I told her to go probe her yard. I don't know what else to tell the woman.
Only thing you can do.
Yeah, it's sort of,
Everybody should have been tapped in back there.
Yeah.
yeah, we
That's
have.
what should have happened.
Totally agree with you,
I
but we
haven't
can't go
got,
back.
I got her address and everything. I haven't looked at the plans yet to even see if she would. But that would be the next step from us, is we're actually gonna go see if she does
You got the
have
plans on that?
tie-in
info?
points.
Will one call come in and do that for you?
No.
No.
They,
No, they don't.
No.
not for the sewer lines.
Not for sewer.
Because
Aaron, you have the plans, the as-built drawings on there?
yes, I have one on computer.
Yeah, we got them electronically. I don't have them on a piece of paper.
And it shows that they both tied in?
But that's why I'm
We
not sure.
didn't check that one, the previous one.
Yeah,
showed
he
that
was
one.
talking about the one from Mr. Chris, but
But
this,
legally, guys, that's what I'm saying, is the sanitarian through the Department of Health needs to get on site to review these particular locations.
Can we request the sanitarian to come to the meeting next week? Because she's coming.
Yes,
Later.
yes, because,
She's coming next.
you know,
week.
it's legal, it's on the state, it's on the sanitarian, because that's their law. But we took the action to start charging these people, and they're not connected. Some of them have no way to connect. That's what the issue coming at. And we just would have waited, took it a little slower, did the inspections, and say, okay, you can't connect, okay, we're gonna charge you. Sanitation, go out, make them connect. I think
But there's no way we'd have ever known that because nobody would have come forth to volunteer to say, well, I'm not connected,
So we
and you're
had
not
to-
charging me. Do I have,
Yeah,
do I have a
bill.
lateral? That's the only way we were gonna ever get anybody to come forward.
But this jury created their own problem.
Well, I know, but we gotta fix it.
Well,
Fix it.
well,
Can't
no,
just leave
well,
it
no,
alone.
most of y'all wasn't on it, I wasn't on it, when it happened either, but still, no, I mean,
So now we need to fix it.
but now you wanna charge the residents before they even get in the service. And you charge, this lady have been paying for 3 months, and she's not connected.
As Kim suggested, let's ask the sanitarian to attend the next meeting and we'll
Yep.
discuss the procedure with her
Okay.
on how we move forward.
We need a motion.
We just need to be careful on what engineer we hire.
All right, next item, request approval.
Got a motion
You
on
got it,
that?
Kim?
I'm good.
You don't need it. Request approval to
She's in
authorize.
our office. I'm just gonna walk across.
You tell them, I'm asking. Request approval to authorize CJ Sabah Consultant to advertise for bids for the Bell Rose Walking Trail project. Is a motion? So move.
Second.
Who made the motion? Leroy, second by Mr. Brewer, all in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
One opposed. Motion passed. Next item, request approval of project permit from Shell Pipeline for anomaly repair on existing pipeline.
I think this is just a repair of the
Yeah.
existing.
Motion by Mr. McLaren, second by Mr. Fonzville, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Any other business? Motion adjourned by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Fonzville, all in favor? Aye, opposed?
All right, we'll call to order the regular meeting of Central Parish Village Jury for Wednesday, February 26, 2025. Let the record reflect all members are present. God, who teaches us by sending the light of the Holy Spirit into our hearts, grant that by the light of that Spirit, right judgment may be ours, and that we may ever find joy in his guidance. Amen.
Cite the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Are there any corrections to be made to the minutes of February 11th, 2025 regular meeting? Hearing none, seek a motion to approve those minutes. Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, public comment period. This time we'll take public comment for any item on the agenda. And just to let everyone know, the public comment period will be 2 minutes per comment. And we'll start after you give your name and address for the record.
Is that what you have?
Okay, I'm back here again. My name is Vanessa Newman. I live at 443 Cherry Street.
Speak up, ma'am, I can hear
Hold
you.
on. I'm gonna go, just pause for a second. Ms. Kim needs to write down the information so that we.
My 2 minutes are not running, right?
Okay. It's actually 3 minutes. It's
You want me to?
it's 3 minutes.
Oh, she's going to.
She's gonna check.
It is.
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes.
It's posted up, yeah. Just making sure.
All right, I'll try.
Trying again? Okay. Good evening. My name is Vanessa Newman. I live at 443 Cherry Street in Labadeville, Louisiana. I have some definite drainage issues. I want to thank the police jury for coming out and doing what you've done thus far. But I would like to know, and I would like an answer, are you all aware that there is a large landowner that has diverted water along Locust Street and Highway 1010 by digging large canals on that property? Can you answer that?
Ma'am,
Anybody?
just for clarity, ma'am, this is public comment. It's not question and answer.
Oh,
So
that's
if-
not
if-
fair.
If you do put things on the record, we can try to get some information for you, and we'll put something.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, so then, my next comment is, did the parish grant that approval to deviate that water to Bruley Road drainage? And then again, does the police jury know what that impact is gonna be on the drainage canal, Bruley Road? Okay, and then, I would have liked to have asked my juror what the $300,000 was going to be for Highway 1010 to take water to the woods. Previously, he stated that he had money allocated several years ago and had to turn the money back in because he was not able to get the landowner
to give them access. Is that gonna happen again? And if it does, what do we do? That's a shame. I don't get any answers, so. I'll be on the next agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Robert Setatow, 726 Brewley Road. I appreciate for what the parish is doing in our area right now, especially them guys, they're working hard, but I think we're digging the drainage backwards. We should be starting from the lake coming to our area. We're doing our area first. And we're having trouble keeping up. We got a little 3-inch rain, somebody said, Sunday before last. Water in my yard. I go to Brewley Road to where the culvert's going underneath. It's about 6 inches from going, the bulkheads of the culvert's going underneath. You had this much, the canals are full. Well, come to find out, we got somebody put a whole bunch of water on those that we didn't need. They go out there and dig canals where they don't need to and don't have approval. So I don't know what we can do about it, but I know we can't afford flooding again, not the way we had. I can understand last time 19 inches of rain supposedly we had, but the other day we had 6. I had 3 inches of water in my shop again. It is what it is. If we get 7 inches of rain with what just happened in the field by Locust Road, we're underwater. Just about every one of them gonna have water in their houses. Plus more. That ain't here today. So we just trying to get something done. And if we keep delaying, it's getting worse. It went way too long without cleaning anything out. It's probably been almost 20 years since we touched any drainage back there. You know, so we just can't afford to get a 7-inch rainfall right now. 3 or 4 the other day, water in the yards, canals all the way up to the road. 6 inches from crossing the road, so we just can't do it. So who's gonna pay for it? You're talking about millions of dollars. Y'all wanna be responsible? I mean, somebody got to take charge. We can't get the approval to drain the Diggers Canal right now. They'll let y'all maybe go cut some trees. I can do that out of my boat. But I mean, we need to clean it. And we going backwards. We need to clean from the lake coming in. That way it drain everything inside the area and you know what you're dealing with then.
Thank you, Mr. Setatow.
Thank you.
Angela Gregwell, 142 Pin Oak Street, Labradorville, Louisiana. I'm talking about the drainage as well. In January, we had 5 inches of rain. I had water up to my bottom step, but for the hurricane, which I understand, I have 4 steps to my porch. I have water up to my 3rd step. I sent everybody an email with all the pictures and got no response from anybody. I have a 95-year-old mother who lives in Thibodeau. If something happens that I'm flooded and I can't get to her, like I told Big Daddy or Mr. Pondale, somebody's heads are gonna roll. The drainage canal, I was told, had not been cleaned out in 15 years. Common sense tells you need to clean it out more than that. Once a year, twice a year. I have flood insurance because when I refinanced my house to get it for a shorter time and less interest, we were then in a flood zone, but before I was not. I shouldn't have, my husband stayed up Sunday night till 3 a.m. to see if we were gonna flood so I could move my car again, because for the hurricane, I had to get my carpet changed. Thank God it didn't mess anything else up. Because in January when it flooded, it wasn't during the 5 inches of rain that I flooded. It was after the rain stopped. Because I had Pokino at my house. I had 5 ladies. They all got to come and go. I went to go take a bath at 10 o'clock at night and I look outside and the water's coming into my yard. I go at 11 o'clock so I could go to bed. And my blessed mother is water up to there, bottom step. We need something done. Because the farmers that are doing the canals, if that's really what's happening, they're gonna get compensated by the government. If I wouldn't have raised my house 5 years ago, I'd have lost it for the hurricane. And that's with my flood insurance. And I don't appreciate that. Y'all get paid for that. Y'all get paid by our taxpayers' money to do what your constituents need done. My husband's been saying he's gonna run, but you know what? I don't want the headache. Because one person can't do it by themselves. We need to work together as a team. Thank you.
Last call, for public comment. No further public comment. Next item, Drainage Committee report, Chairman Pineville.
Yes, sir. The Drainage Committee meeting was held this afternoon at 4:15. All members were present. We had an update on the Lower Texas Monterey Conshan Road, Himalaya Canal. We had an update on the drainage projects associated with the flooding in the Lappyville community. We had a request to clean out the Supreme Canal, and Mr. Landry is working on that. We approved to also approve Mr. Aaron's and to go take a look at the breach in the levee on Georgette Street. We approved the culvert replacement at 113 Pauline Street. We discussed drainage concerns at 118 Paul and drainage concerns at 114 Gumbo Street. I present this all in form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Nakane, all in favor?
While we're on drainage, I just want to say one thing. If we can get approval from the landowner to go on their property in Lattimore, I would like us to get Aaron approval, if he have to work overtime to get what need to be done, to work those guys on Saturdays, Friday, Saturdays, Sunday, whatever you gotta do to fix the problem as soon as possible.
Well, there's a project budget, the overtime is just a matter of coming out of the budget for the project.
Right. You all right with that?
Yeah.
You got drainage money?
He knows that.
Drainage money?
So, yeah.
How do I use it, though?
So we had a motion to accept report by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Nakane, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Personnel Committee report, Chairman Diaz.
Personnel Committee met. Item one, we discussed performance of parish manager, no action was taken. We discussed to hire a superintendent daily over operations. We approved to hire the part-time ULV spray truck driver at $20 per hour contractor rate. Present all this in the form of a motion.
But it wasn't a superintendent, it was assistant.
Assistant parish manager, number 2.
Make a motion.
Motion by
Motion to accept report by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? For one item in particular?
It's the appointment of the new assistant manager.
Assistant parish manager. All in favor? And have Mr. Bro opposed to number 2. Next item, Finance Committee meeting. Finance Committee met at 5:01. We approved to pay the list of bills submitted through February 21st, 2025. We approved the budget comparison statements for January 2025. We made some additional GOMESA allocations of $1 million for the Joe Lamore Micro Street project. We allocated $300,000 to the Lavenderville Drainage Canal project. $100,000 to Ward 3 Drainage District for the purchase of 2 pumps, and $487,896 to the Ward 7, 8, 9 levy projects. We tabled the discussion for the grants management contract with South Central Planning, and then we will request additional information from them and ask them to appear at another meeting to discuss that with us. Motion to accept the report by Mr. Nakane, second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Solid Waste Committee report, Chairman Nakane.
One item on the agenda is request approval to assess liquidated damages in accordance with the contract for refusal to collect bulk waste at 571 Highway 1000.
517.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic too, 517. 517 Highway 1000. And that was approved. Motion accepted.
Second.
Motion to accept the report by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor? Opposed?
No.
Leroy, on that nay, Kristen, it's $50 per missed pickup, so are you gonna stay involved and let me know how many are missed?
Well, yeah, well,
As it
That is
happens?
picked up.
I can give
It
you a
was
list.
picked up, I'm just saying if you could keep us.
sure, and I think the contract stipulates how those liquidated damages are applied.
Okay,
It's just subtracted from the monthly
the
bill.
bill. But I'd like some specific
Sure.
dates of missed pickup.
I'll send you photographs also. Engineering Grants Committee report, Chairman Nakam.
Yes, Engineering Grants Committee met all members present. First item was, update from GIS Engineering on Gerald Street Drainage Project, Bertrandville. Drainage Project, Belrose Lane Drainage Project, Plotville Drainage Project, and Laverville Drainage Project. Next item, an update from, the Plaintiff Design Group on Gerald Street Levy Project in Ring Levees and Fairport Hill River. We had an update from Infinity Engineering on Parish-wide sewer, Truman Project. We had an update from the Accounts Frank Coordinator. And it was a resolution for sidewalks on, was it resolution that you needed? Was it a resolution for that? What you need, yeah, resolution for highway, sidewalks on Highway 1 and 308. And sidewalks at Highway 403.
And a commitment letter there was a commitment letter for 403.
Agreement for Highway 1 and Highway 308, and then the commitment letter for 403.
Gotcha. Next week, just have those written down, probably what action needs to be taken. Thank you. Next item is update, from South Central Planning and Development Commission. And we request approve and authorize the president to sign task order number 2. Belrose Lane Drainage Project Amendment 1 proposed and pending cost and analysis, and that passed was for the amount of $2,750. We tabled number 6 on the fire hydrant project, update on Ag Center roof project. We need action taken by next meeting, or I'm gonna pursue another engineer. Next item, update on courthouse renovation project. We heard from Ms. Menard, Judge Menard, and, we're gonna, hope to have some answers real soon for her. Next item, discuss issues with the consolidated sewer district household connections and requested that sanitarian be at the next meeting. Next item, request approval to authorize CJ Sidewalk to advertise bids for the Belrose Walking Trail project, and we approve project permit from Shell Pipeline for anomaly repair on existing pipeline. We take you that all forms for motion.
Motion by Mr. Nakam. Can we get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Need number 10.
Report accepted. Next item, request approval for a new light installation and road lighting district at 2409 Highway 1, Laverdale, Ward 2.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Nakam.
Second.
Second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, discuss parish equipment amongst departments.
Yeah, I put this on here. Aaron, in your department, like, is the equipment designated to certain divisions, or it's just a first come, first served basis?
It's gonna be where it's put to use the most. And there's coordination between individuals, whether or not if it can be working somewhere for a majority amount of time, then if it's not used for half the day, it's getting taken somewhere else. That's kind of the way it is, instead of it sitting idle. Sort of, I mean, that kind of answers your question. Just a parked one is not doing us any good anywhere, so.
Pretty much, but it's all gonna change now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movement, no, I know the quarter. From in the past of doing that work run machine, if I was there, it's not getting used all the time.
Mhm.
It's used for a couple of hours a day, maybe a half a day. Well, it could be doing something else for a half a day. if you get what I'm saying, instead of it being idle. I remember how they used to be idle. I did it. I know they were. That's the point I'm trying to get across.
That's
They,
good enough.
they need to be utilized as much as possible.
Yes, the burning
And
diesel.
and
is what-
another thing, I feel that every parish employee should be on a team to do whatever it takes.
Mhm.
Whenever some parish employee tell you that's not my job or I don't get paid to do that, I don't think we need them. I don't think we need them employees. Because
agree.
if they get away with it, the next one's gonna do the same thing. If they got a road and bridge crew that needs to go and sweep ditches to prevent flooding, that road and bridge crew needs to be sweeping ditches. Not waiting to patch a pothole. So utilize your employees as much as possible.
They will see a change now. Oh. You don't make another change after.
Any other items there, Mr. Diaz?
That's it. Thank you.
Next item, request approval to adopt ordinance 25-01 to levy grass cutting charges totaling $2,380.50. Motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Pondville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the following occupational licenses. Twisted Sisters LLC, Pierport, The Blue Tavern, Donaldsonville, Christy Lynn Oquin, Morgan City, and A through Z Service LLC, Pierport.
For the Blue Tavern is actually not in Donaldsonville.
It's Donaldsonville address is Bell Road.
It's Bell Road.
Yeah, okay, it's not.
That's the name
That's-
change.
No,
No,
Bell
no,
Road's
no,
at
no.
Bertrand.
That's right
Bertrand
there.
Bill.
It's right
That's a
here.
Napoleon bill.
I think that's just listening with the owner
It was.
is so, but with the occupation license, have no issue with occupation license. No, it's with the liquor license. Make a motion to approve the occupation license.
All right. Motion to approve, all four entities mentioned by
Well,
Mr.
but the
Carter.
occupational license that they submitted is with alcohol,
Well,
So-
the next item is gonna be,
the liquor license,
Liquor
but I
license.
think we need to
So we
get
need
them
to
to submit, to fill out an
Yeah.
occupational license without alcohol and
okay.
approve that,
well,
if
for,
they choose to go that route.
how you wanna do it? The
So
Blue
just-
Tavern?
Table, the Blue Tavern.
Kim, Judge, go ahead and approve it. We're getting the proper documentation. You can approve it. We're getting the proper documentation.
Are they a bar? They're
I
gonna
don't know
open
what they are.
without selling alcohol?
Well, I don't know what they are. What I'm saying, you
I
can
think
approve it, based on getting the proper documentation.
I think it is a hookah shop. It's
Okay.
A hookah bar?
a hookah lounge.
A Hooper?
Hookah. Hookah.
Hookah.
Huh? You never been in a hookah lounge?
No, tell us about it. I think I made my point.
Never
It's
realized.
a non-smoke free environment.
Let's just disapprove it, let them redo the paperwork the right way.
Right.
Without the liquor license.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna table the Blue Tavern.
Tavern.
I've been there.
All right.
And approve.
So have a motion by Mr. Carter to approve Twisted Sisters LLC, Pierport, Christy Lynn Oakwood, Morgan City, and A through Z LLC, Pierport.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pondville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Someone gonna contact?
She'll be in touch.
Okay. Next item, request approval for the following liquor license application to Blue Tavern.
Let's table that.
Well, it's really not tabled,
not
guys.
tabled, we're
It's
gonna deny
denied
because
because they
they're
are
within-
within 500 feet of a church.
Right.
So it's denied.
You would have to get a letter from the church.
You can get a letter from the church, or you
No,
want
they
I
would-
don't
to.
think we
That's
have
a
any,
law.
it's
Oh,
not
you did
allowed.
that with that package,
I did that.
the package alcohol. You sure
I
did.
sure did.
And the church sure did send a letter.
Send a letter.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Package
Package of
alcohol.
alcohol.
This is gonna be selling drinks.
This is a hookah lounge.
Yeah.
This is back.
Oh, I thought you didn't know what it was.
I
thought you didn't know what it was.
This is a bar, different one.
It's a bar.
As a point of order here, the item was to approve it. If we don't approve it, I'm not sure what action we take,
Can you just table it,
A
or
motion.
what's the issue, because of the location?
It's with,
You know,
we have an
certain-
ordinance that doesn't allow in any business of this sort within 500 feet of a church or school.
But are they certain, what are we claiming that they're doing?
They wanna sell alcohol.
Okay, and we've confirmed that.
Yeah, they apply for alcohol license.
Okay, because nobody's here to tell us that. So again, we're just guessing that that's what they're doing.
No, they're part of the alcohol permit.
Okay, then that's fine. Then you just do a denial or you table it and you ask them to come to the next
If
meeting.
you do a
then deny.
table, they're gonna come back next meeting, but if you do a denial, that's,
I would just do the denial if that's
Yeah.
the issue with the school or the church within the city, the 500 feet location.
Motion to die.
Deny.
So
Denied.
I entertain a motion to deny the liquor license application.
Because of the,
Five
distance
hundred.
from the nearest,
Church.
place of worship.
Place of worship, that's right. School's right.
Motion by Mr. Nakam,
No, Mr. Carter.
motion by Mr. Carter.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pondville. All in favor? Opposed? Motion to deny carried. Request approval of the following temporary liquor license application, St. Elizabeth School Fair, 6051 Convent Street, Pankerville, March 15th and 16th. Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Carter. I will recuse myself from voting because I'm the one that applied for the application.
You did? You wanna sell liquor at the church, huh?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One abstain.
It's a
For the
very
church,
church
huh? At the
event.
church, huh?
Motion adjourned by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor?